Welcome to Noongar Danju. In the 1940s, Aboriginal children at the Carrolup native settlement had a school teacher by the name of Noel White. He and his wife noticed the Aboriginal children had an interest in art and so encouraged them to use their artwork as an expression of their connection to country and culture. 70 years later, the John Curtin Gallery is now the custodian of a large collection of Carrolup artworks. They have recently launched plans to create a permanent exhibition space and centre for research and truth-telling about stolen generations' history. Here to discuss this new project is Noongar Elder Tony Hansen, the chairman of the Carrolup Elders Reference Group. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Della.
So Tony, what is your personal connection to Carrolup?
My personal connection goes back a long way. Goes back probably to the early 1940s, where my grandparents have had a connection to the settlement in the early days of going there to ensure that they had health and wellbeing being addressed. And I guess later on, as a part of the Carrolup artworks, my mum's sister was sadly placed into the Carrolup native settlement at that time as well. So she grew up among the artists. So that's part of the Carrolup connection. But later on in life, around 1970, I entered the same settlement, but it was known as the Marrowbank Baptist Mission in 1970. So I ended up entering in 1970 and sadly spent the next 15 years of my life growing up in the Marrowbank Baptist Mission.
I never knew that, so I've just learnt something new. Tell us about the artworks. What's their significance to the Noongar community?
I think the artworks are a profound piece of work and collection. I guess the artworks and their connection to the Noongar community is very significant because of these children and their connection to country and connection to the landscape. And I believe that it was an important part of their journey to continue to stay connected to the artworks and to their people. And this is a way of allowing the children to have that connection. For the Noongar community, I think it's significant because we know that the artworks have been on this journey for well over 60 years. And it's an important part of the journey, knowing that the artworks are coming back home now to Noongar Budja, and that family and community and the whole community as a whole can come together to see the artworks of the great work that these children have done.
Fantastic. Yeah, my grandmother, Maisie Weston, she was very interested in the artwork because of her brother, Uncle Barry Lou, rest in peace. His artwork's a part of that. You might have seen some of his artwork then as well.
Yeah, and I guess when you look at it, it's an amazing piece of work. I guess it gives you goosebumps when you see it, knowing that I guess the key points is that these were children doing this artwork. They weren't adults. When you look at the works, you would think adults have done them. But in terms of the works that the children have presented in times of difficulty, with limited resources, it's amazing to see the quality and the beauty that comes out of the artworks from these children of that time.
It's really beautiful that they've really captured the essence of Noongar Budja and really takes you back to that country. Yeah,
it does. And it's looking at the landscapes, looking at the trees, the kangaroos, just the detail in the work has just been amazing itself.
Lovely. Curtin University has recently launched a fundraising campaign to build Carrolup Centre for Truth Telling. What is their vision for the centre?
I guess the vision is to tell the truth in terms of the journey of children of the stolen generation, using the Carrolup artworks as a gateway, I guess, to share ongoing stories about each person that entered the institutions of the times to express their experiences. It is Carrolup focus, however, it is also allowing other institutions to come to the fore, to be involved, so that we can have truth-telling told about all children that entered the institutions of the time, so that we're capturing all stories from different institutions. The Carrolup the focus really is because of the artworks. The artworks are significant, knowing that they've been on this journey around the world, been into some big exhibitions in the UK and throughout Europe, and now found and brought back to Noongar Budja, which is, for me and I guess for the Carrolup Elders Reference Group and the community, the Noongar community as a whole, it's significant, and it's really pleasing, because when you see young people talking about the names of some of these artists, they're making a connection in realising that could be my pop, or that's my nan, or that's my uncle, or it's a descendant from those lines. So, it's bringing people together. We're hoping that it'll bring the wider community together and be a part of this journey. And to have them back here, it's going to be an amazing journey and opportunity for all people in WA. I think Curtin's allowed this opportunity, and it's a credit to the relationship of the Carrolup Elders Reference Group and Curtin to look at forming this centre, and the centre will be known as the Carrolup Truth Telling Centre. So it's about bringing the truth and talking about some of those stories that people don't want to talk about as well.
So it's a really beautiful, subtle way of healing for our people, for our solemn generation.
It is, and I think it's been a long time coming, and I think it's an opportunity for the whole of community, the whole of Australia, to now get involved in truth telling. And I think without truth telling, you can't have healing. Without truth, you can't have justice, and truth means people can heal. It gives people an opportunity to heal, to talk about their experiences, and to continue to get support, get counselling throughout this journey, because it's like a ripple effect. Throwing the rock in the pond, and it's just multiple layers of trauma that each individual has experienced throughout their life while being in institutions similar to Carrolup and others around WA. And we know that through the research and the report around stolen people in institutions, we know that WA was the worst state in the country. We had 100 more institutions. We also had a man that really left a footprint in this state, and left a footprint with other chief prosecutors around bringing Aboriginal people into institutions and changing their lifestyles.
So we know this is going to be really good for our mob, but how do you think it will encourage reconciliation?
I think it's firstly, I think it's a great opportunity in terms of reconciliation with Curtin University. Curtin is got an elevated rap. I think they're leading the way in this space. I think it's also allows our people to come together, and the wider community to come together to say, what can I do? What part can I play in this to be a part of reconciliation? How can I help to support those that have been through this experiences, or what contribution I can give to making just a small part of their journey a little bit different, and making their contribution being could have a good footprint into whatever the outcomes may be moving forward. I think reconciliation is everybody's business. I believe it's an opportunity for not just Noongar people and Aboriginal people in general, but all Australians are coming together to say, let's walk hand in hand together and let's go on this journey together, because we are working and engaging and connecting with the oldest living cultural group in the world, not just in Australia, it's the world. So it's an important journey, and I think it's the time is now. It's a great opportunity for all Australians and West Australians.
So everyone's welcome to come and have a look at the artwork?
Yes, the artworks will be on display during NAIDOC Week this year, 2020. We know we've had a bit of a pandemic throughout the year, but it's an opportunity for all West Australians to come together, to have a look at the artworks, to see the great work, to see the beauty that these children presented, the beauty and the detail during some of the traumatic times of these children's lives, knowing that they've been taken away from family, country and community and culture. Now they put their work into the artworks to display the quality that I guess that they've gained over the years as young children, and remembering their people and remembering their culture as well. So the detail, the work is all on display. It's a great opportunity for all West Australians to come together, to have a look at this work and really admire the great work that these kids have done. And remembering when you're looking at them, they're kids' works and their quality work. And it's quality work that it's exciting, I guess, when I look at it.
Well, seems to me you're doing amazing work. So how can people contribute to the fundraiser?
Well, I guess the important thing is people that wanting to contribute to the campaign is an opportunity to go on the Curtin website. Looking at all the details are on the website. Part of the planning is we've organised that we've put them into categories in terms of how we want to raise funds using the native plants of Noongar country. So there's different levels, different amounts, but all the detail is on the website there at Curtin University, and it's a great opportunity for, as I say, for not just for community but also for corporates to come together, corporates to be a part of this journey and to celebrate this great opportunity that could be, as a contribution to giving something back to the community as well.
Thanks for being here and giving us that information. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us, Tony.
Thank you very much for having me.